but you have professional disruptors. But if you look at my rallies, other than the one I ended in Chicago where nobody was hurt, I did the right thing, because there you had a couple of thousand disruptors or protesters, whatever you want to call them, and I had 25,000 people, and we were able to stop a lot of them from coming in. And I can't, because when I landed, the Secret Service, the police, everybody said this could be a potential problem. So we get a lot of credit, I think, for, to end. I hate to do that.
The full interview with Donald Trump will air Monday night at 10 p.m. on Hannity. And with me now is Katrina Pierson, national spokeswoman for the Donald Trump campaign. All right, welcome, Katrina. What we're seeing, how are you?
Good to see you, Judge. That was a fantastic opening, and I fully endorse it.
Oh, I'm sure you do. Listen, Katrina, what is going on? We've got these people who are, blocking roads for people, making it impossible for them to go to a rally. Chicago was shut down because of the protesters. Utah last night, people jumping over barricades. I believe it was in Ohio. The doors were rushed last night in Utah as well. I mean, what do you think is going on besides the obvious, they don't want Trump to win? Is their goal to get their own candidate in, to stop Trump, or are they just anarchists?
No, I think a lot of it is anarchy, but I think more importantly, this is organized chaos. They are to create a public perception of violence, to scare people into supporting Mr. Trump. And what's missing here is the GOP establishment, just as you had mentioned in your opening. They don't really care if it's Hillary Clinton. And conservatism as a force ended in the 80s. After Reagan, the Republican Party was absent in the community, whether it's in society in general, even in the culture. And that has what's given rise to the militant left in this political correct society, where it's okay for them to use violence as an intimidation tactic, or just yell racist or Hitler to smear someone's character. And of course, the mainstream media will give them a platform to disseminate the smear campaign. But they are okay with Hillary Clinton, and that's the purpose of the anti-Trump as well. They want to convince people that they're not going to support Mr. Trump on this notion that he's going to lose because of it. And it's just not the case, because if they do fight against Mr. Trump, Janine, Judge, I tell you, Donald Trump is going to win regardless, because he has the right policies. He is going to fight for the working class.
But Katrina, look, it seems to me that, if it's really about conservatism, then they would be going after Cruz and
Sure.
people even more conservative than Donald. I mean, are they looking to provoke violence? What are they looking to establish here? I mean, do they just want to get into fights?
Well, I think a lot of them do. And you have people like MoveOn.org and Black Lives Matter and some of these anarchy groups. That's all they do is look for fights. They've been provoking people all over the country long before Mr. Trump entered this race. And if they do try to stop Mr. Trump, and let's just say it is Hillary, the establishment is perfectly okay with that, because then they don't have to make the tough decisions for the American public. They can just sit back and blame Hillary. Meanwhile, the consultant class, whether you're on the right or the left, will continue to have their European vacations and their second homes. The working class continues to get the short end of the stick. And Mr. Trump puts an end to that.
Right. But let me ask you this. I mean, are you worried that the drama over these protests, they're now talking about they're not going to stop until thousands are arrested. Are you worried that that drama overtakes Donald's message or prevents Donald Trump from having the ability to even access those people who have a First Amendment to listen to him?
No, not at all. In fact, I think it's doing completely the opposite. I sat there and watched 50,000 people live stream Mr. Trump's rally today in Arizona just to hear his message. And this is the American people having a head-on collision with the truth, which is that the Democratic side is not on the side of the people, and the militant left is their army. And what we see now is people that are supporting Mr. Trump, they're not afraid. They're going to go out there and they're going to fight for American values and American families, because that's who needs to come first.
All right. Think about the fact that, the Chicago rally shut down, and a couple of days later, Donald Trump pretty much takes Super Tuesday, too. He almost runs the whole table, 5 states. Do you think that the people are now going to come out in even stronger numbers? And when do you think that the left is going to realize that?
Well, I do. I think more people are going to show up for Mr. Trump because you have to remember, no matter who wins, if there is a conservative policy or a policy that's even pro-America for that matter, this is what they're going to do to try to stop those policies. This is not anything new. And as you mentioned, many of us long before today knew eventually it was going to come to having to face this issue head on. More people are going to support Mr. Trump because we've seen now the challengers on the Republican side have sided with Bill Ayers, MoveOn.org, and Black Lives Matter against Mr. Trump. He's the only one fighting for the people.